Hey guys, this week we're doing something different. Instead of answering questions from you guys, we're going to talk about all of the games and things and announcements and trailers and gameplays and surprises and all the things that happened at E3.
Yes, the biggest gaming conference in the world.
But first,
Truly, yes,
a word from our sponsors, a word about our sponsors, because we don't want to give you guys shitty sponsors. You guys always complain if it's something that isn't related to you. So this is the way that we're going to find better sponsors for things that you might actually want to buy.
Yeah.
Because the sponsors are never going away.
And they are what helps keep this show around and all of our other shows, actually, thanks to this show. So what you got to do is go to podsurvey.com/ask, and then you can fill out a little survey there, and you can have a chance to win a $100 gift card. So it's pretty simple.
It's going to ask you questions about, like, basically demographic stuff, and then stuff that you like, what things that you're willing to spend money on, so that they can find one of those companies to put an ad on our show, give us money, give you guys something that doesn't annoy you and that you might actually be intrigued to learn about.
Well, it's not like money in our pockets. It's money to keep doing shows.
I see none of this money.
We see none of this money. So without further ado, let's talk about E3, because a lot of stuff happened this week.
Yeah,
and
we got a whole list right here.
Yeah, we got a list we're going to try to get through.
So we're gonna start
forever doing.
We're gonna try to take a chronological
You guys
order.
actually went to E3. I didn't, and it looks like at this point I won't.
No, well, it's over now. So it's over.
It's done.
20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes.
Got my badge though. I'm gonna frame that. Yeah, that year was crazy, right,
Great
guys?
year.
Crazy. So we're gonna start with Bethesda, which this is their first press conference ever,
That's pretty big.
and deservedly so, because they have a couple of big games in here. One very huge game.
Yeah, so
Doom.
Let's start with Doom.
When was the last Doom game?
I think it was just Doom 3. I'm pretty sure.
Like
And
2005?
and the expansions, but yeah, probably around, I want to say 2005, 2006.
So about a decade.
Around the same time as the movie with Dwayne The Rock
That
Johnson.
came out, around the same time. Yeah.
Oh, that tie-in.
It had
Yeah.
that scene at the end with the.
Yeah, first person.
This looks a lot better.
Yeah,
No, this game looks beautiful.
Yeah.
it's funny. Like the whole current gen quality and graphics hasn't really been that noticeable to me, except in properties that are super fucking old, where I'm like, oh. And there's a few more on this list where I'm like, oh yeah, that actually looks amazing. Like they took something that was somewhat familiar and made it look really pretty, and in this case, really fucking gory.
Yeah, and really scary. And yeah, there's this trailer is very not safe for work. A guy gets his face chainsawed in half. People get their chins ripped off.
They're not people. They're
You know what I mean.
they're ghouls or whatever. the fuck they are.
Things.
Very impressive
Things.
tech demo.
Yeah.
I think that Doom, especially the id Software games, they're now just basically trying to push. They're trying to get you to buy a new graphics card.
Yeah.
And this one will. I mean, apparently you're gonna need like a SLI setup to get the.
But Maddie, how will it work on my Xbox One?
You can get it for Xbox One.
Yeah, I know, but it'll probably not look as good as what we saw there.
24 frames per second,
Yeah.
cinematic
It'll
quality.
probably look good, but just not the frame rate
Yeah,
that we saw it
exactly.
in. But yeah, that looked amazing.
That's always, I mean, aside from, we'll get to how good Battlefront looked, even captured on the PS4, but a lot of this stuff, if it's available on PC, it's usually captured in PC, so it gives you this kind of false sense of graphic security that you're not going to actually get when it comes out. Honestly, I don't know how much longer consoles are going to be. I guess I see how their mainstream appeal is good, but when you look at graphics and you don't get that because you own a console, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I'm a big tech nerd, and I like to see good graphics and everything. But at the end of the day, it's got to be a great game. And I think all of the best games. I still think the best developers and the best games are developed for console specifically.
Yeah.
Because the money's there. PlayStation and Microsoft are gonna get people like 343 Industries and Naughty Dog. I think those are the two best studios, and they're exclusive on Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
There's those games you can't even buy on PC.
Right, Uncharted 4 looks
that looks incredible.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
All of the Like every time you take cover behind a box and then like the shards of things. Like,
that's at the end of this.
Much
we have a whole.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
All right. So what else?
Bethesda.
Dishonored 2. We can skip that.
I don't even like. What is that? You're like
never played
Spider-Man, steampunk.
The first game was pretty fun. It was like a stealthy kind of thing.
Okay. So it sounds boring.
More of that.
Just sneaking around the whole time.
But there's a girl in this one. Now you can play as a girl.
That's good. Yeah.
So
that was a big thing this year was the female protagonist.
Absolutely.
And also people and their dogs.
Yes.
You always need a companion.
And robots and and robot companions.
Speaking of people, dogs, and robots.
Oh my God, the biggest game. I mean, this might be a game of show, and it was first conference. Fallout 4.
I mean, it looks great.
It looks.
I admittedly am not
great.
a fan of the Fallout series. I've never really played. I played Fallout 3 to try to get into it. I played maybe 2 hours of it and was like, whatever. So but my thing is like I know that Fallout 4 is gonna be good, and I know that I'm gonna play it and probably enjoy it. Because Fallout 3 I kind of played as an afterthought after it had been out for a while. And people were like, oh yeah, you should pick that up and try it. And I didn't really care for it. But I'll jump on the hype train, but I'm not going to ever like lie and be like, yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of Fallout.
So you're not going to buy the Pip-Boy edition?
No.
Which is, they announced a physical Pip-Boy you can buy with...
It looks cool.
iPhone 6 Plus.
I want to go up to anyone I see in public wearing that and just pull their underwear over their head.
I think it's smart to buy it as a collector's item because I think in 30 years.
Well, we should talk about because it was Fallout 4.
You also need an iPhone to go.
Yeah,
into it.
I think there'll be an Android version too.
Yeah.
But let's talk. I mean, it's more Fallout, but there's huge additions to the game. You can basically build any weapon in the game. Almost. They basically are trying to be a few more games with Fallout. They're trying
you can do anything but kill the dog.
You
can't kill dog meat.
Well, so your dog can basically help you get loot items, which is great. With the weapons, it's trying to basically be like Borderlands with like a million different weapons in the game as far as options. And trying to be a little Minecraft now with basically building your own world within the wasteland.
See, okay, can I... games... There's too much. There's too many options. There's too much to do. Make it simple. Make it safe. Make it fun. I don't like when you can like the whole Call of Duty thing. Fallout. Sure. The whole thing with Call of Duty is just like my old man brain that is currently turning into mush in my brain. In my head. See, I told you. And anytime there's like 1,000 options, I go, well, this is just too much. I'm gonna give up.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty, when you spend more time building your like. Pack that gun and this on it and that on
even
it.
Your avatar, or time building your icon that's your avatar.
Well, it seems like in Fallout at least it's going to be stuff you just sort of randomly like find as you go along. Instead of being just like random perks that pop up.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of Fallout and just like any Bethesda game, you can play just the story and it's gonna be 10 hours, or you can make this your life and spend 300 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not. They give you that option. There's no linearness to it at all. It's
they say how big the world is.
Well, it's as big as Boston, I guess you could say. It's Boston,
the real city of Boston.
Yeah. Fenway Park's in there.
Nice. A lot of the complaints I heard about this, and there weren't many, but some people who just complained to complain, were saying, the graphics don't look that great or whatever. Yeah. I don't. This is as compared to like Doom, which looks amazing. Yeah. I don't think this looks bad at all.
No.
I'm not playing Fallout. Who's playing Fallout for graphics?
It's exactly like what you were saying earlier. Yeah. It's like it's a game that. I can't say that I've played it enough to be like it's a great game, but it's pretty unanimous at this point that Fallout 4 is a fan favorite and huge. And I mean, a lot of the games that are out now that are gigantic and amazing are like down-res, D-res, like old school throwback style games.
I think that I think it looks gorgeous, and they're making strides in the aesthetic over the last one, which I've actually been playing. You guys been seeing me playing, but that's. The awkward, like when you're talking to someone, it zooms into their face. Is so cringy. And this one, looks more like Mass Effect, where when you're talking to someone, it kind of has that like OTS camera angles and everything. It's a little bit easier to.
Also, apologies for yawning and stuff. It's been a long week.
It has, a lot of parties.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the real Fallout game everyone's excited about.
Oh yeah,
Fallout Shelter,
which is now the most. They're like they came on stage like, guys. It's completely free, and it's now the highest grossing game on the iTunes store. Yeah,
I mean, ever or just like this
year? I guess this week or
like on the top of the list. No, that makes sense.
Well, it's great because they don't need to make money off of it. the whole thing is just like a hype game.
Yeah, it is.
So they actually put time into. I mean, I haven't played it. You've been playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's supposed to be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And they're just losing money on it basically just to get the word out.
For a game that I don't know.
Apparently not losing money.
I don't know if they're losing money on it because
Does it have microtransactions?
It's probably one of the most well-made iOS games I've ever played. And it goes to show, like if when you give a company like Bethesda making an iOS game, like they can just blow out like a what's the name, like the Zynga or or PopCap game.
Yeah.
I mean, they make great games, but they make mobile games, and this is the minds behind games like Skyrim and Fallout working on an iOS game, and it's gorgeous. It has the
How do the microtransactions come into play?
So you unlock toasters or not toasters, lunchboxes as you go through achievements in the game.
Yeah.
And to accelerate that process, you can buy a lunchbox for 99 cents.
Yeah. Okay.
Which unlocks. It's basically buying like a pack of cards. Like you get like a gun, you get like some caps, you get some things, and then the one like amazing thing like a Pokemon. Holographic card or something like that,
So everyone just wants to have all the stuff now, so they're paying for it.
So, I love it.
It's like donuts in the Simpsons game or something like that.
Yeah. Although, I want to say this, one big feature I'm requesting is from Bethesda, if you're watching.
Yes.
If I could be able to take care of my vault on my iPad and my iPhone at the same time, that'd be great. You can't...
There's no
syncing.
cloud save?
There's no cloud save.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always the worst when games don't have that.
I had to start another vault on my iPhone. Which I can't
double addicted.
I can't do two vaults at the same time.
Well, it doesn't need an internet connection. You can just
no, I don't think it does.
Trash cans or whatever you're saying, toasters. You gotta have one, but apparently it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he said that. Maybe I'm just
I'm sure it'll
uninformed.
come. But
let's move on to the big boys here.
Yeah.
Not that Bethesda's not a big boy. We're talking about consoles.
No, this is a huge boy right here. This is a man. Microsoft.
Grown ass man. Microsoft.
Not a pip boy. A pip
Monday
man.
morning, Microsoft started out with a pretty huge game called Halo 5.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Well, where were Halos 1 through 4?
Yeah.
Let's all talk about our relationship with Halo, and are either of you guys big Halo fans?
1 and 2 are like a huge part of my, I guess, teenhood, childhood-ish time, and then 3 as well, and then after that, I
ODST and
went to
stuff
college
like that.
and didn't really play as many video games, and then Halo 4 I bought. And then never played. It's still in the plastic.
Wow.
So that was $60
Elliot,
wasted.
you and I have pretty much the exact same. I got Halo 4 for free because I was working at G4 at the time, and just never played it.
I had no
played a little
desire.
bit recently when the Master Chief Collection came out, which it's a pretty good game.
I've heard the
I'm not
Master
sure
Chief
that I
Collection's
played Halo 4 at all. Either.
Yeah, they all kind of meld, like the 3 and 4 and all the ODSTs and the Reaches
'Cause
all meld into one for me.
I definitely played the campaigns in 1 and 2, but once it got to Halo 3, it was, that moment where you go out at midnight and you pick it up at midnight and you run home, and the only thing you do for like months is multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right.
And by then I was just like, well, the story's great, I'm sure, but I'm tired of playing this game.
I never got into multiplayer. I was always in it for the single
Really?
player. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I'm more of never really like the multiplayer. I'm not a big like jump around and shoot kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm way more into like more tactical stuff.
I forget what it was. It was Halo 2, maybe. When we were on tour, we would have like the vans, or at one point everyone was in a bus finally, but the vans would park next to each other.
Yeah.
We had like these TVs in the vans with Xbox.
Yeah.
We would run the cable to the people who were parked next to us at the venues and play online from van to van.
Right.
On these like tiny
With
TVs.
Halo 1. You can do it with Halo 1 and Halo 2.
Also, there's no Wi-Fi or anything.
Right.
You're just parked in a parking lot.
Yeah.
That was
great
like a
experience.
cool kind of thing. Everyone was playing it. It was the biggest game ever.
Yeah.
At that point, it was just like you couldn't escape it. Now there's just so much and so much multiplayer and stuff like that. Halo 2 was the first multiplayer really for Xbox.
First Xbox Live title for Halo. Yeah.
So yeah, it was. Obviously a game changer.
Yes, absolutely. So, anyone here gonna buy Halo 5? You think?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
This one, like Doom, is weird for me because I'm like, oh yeah, this looks great visually because I've never seen Halo done with this kind of like shadow and like particle effects and shit like that, like actual weather in the Halo universe. It's really weird to look at, but it's very pretty.
I would definitely buy this over Call of Duty, which seems to be
Yes,
more and
I
more
agree,
going towards the Halo look and feel, which is weird.
Yeah, or Titanfall, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So I'll probably pick it up just because
It's so-
it's
actually,
one of those games that like everyone's gonna be on.
I didn't put Call of Duty on this list, but we can talk about it now.
No, I don't care. We can go
Okay,
on.
yeah, it looks.
It
I
fucking
actually
landed with a thud at E3.
Yeah.
When there's games like Halo 5 and Battlefront,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
we'll get
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you can't really compare. Not that, and I always say like that I don't like Call of Duty personally, but you can't say it's a bad game because it's one of the most popular games ever, and
Yeah.
the multiplayer for the most part, even though I stopped liking it, it doesn't make it bad. It's just that I'm not interested anymore, and with all the stuff that came out of E3, it's hard for Call of Duty, which has already been announced and shown off, to even like make any kind of splash there.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. They don't. I mean, I love like the Modern Warfare obviously era. And that's when they had one studio working on it, and then they had like two, and it was still good. But right now they have 3 studios working on Call of Duty, so they can come out every year. And it's just so watered down, and
like Madden.
and each studio is kind of competing with each other to one up each other. So there's not only their competition within the whole gaming, just between games. There's competition within Activision to make the best Call of Duty game.
I'll tell you, like what I would honestly be waiting for is, and we'll get to some remakes too, but when the Call of Duty Advanced or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2 bundle remake comes out or something like that, or the original Black Ops, or even like World at War. Like I loved those Call of Duties.
I'll go even further and say I think in like 10 years I'm looking forward to
the ultimate Call of Duty.
No, I'm looking forward to just Call of Duty when they go back to World War II.
Yeah.
And it's just like an incredible like World War II simulator, and then they go, then they do the timeline again.
Yeah. World War II's back, baby.
It's back, baby. Is Hitler gonna win this time? You're in charge.
You decide.
You just put your gun down if you want. He wins.
Yeah. I'm not really interested in the future advanced warfare stuff.
Yeah,
there seems to be some push for that too. Every year people are like, "Oh, are they going to go back to World War II?" It's like, no, you fucking idiot. They're on this fucking bender.
No, the guns
are
insane. Yeah. Nate Shot can't use a musket. Like, come on.
The thing is like that's my problem with it is when you're, when the fucking RC car came out.
Oh yeah.
It was like okay to like, it was like a trolley type thing. I felt like, but still, I thought that it hurt the game. And now you've got drones, you've got all this fucking shit that you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe it's just because I'm old. My brain can't comprehend all that stuff going on.
And double
at the same
jump,
time.
just a double jump alone.
And then the slides.
Yeah.
The one game that did it right, regardless of what people say about the campaign, is Destiny's multiplayer. I thought was the most balanced, best multiplayer of last year as far as first-person shooters go.
Yeah.
It was simple, but had little perks that you could do, and I think that. That's why another reason why I like Halo 2, because for the most part, Halo's somewhat simple. It's not 50,000 things going on at once. So
true. Next is a little game. This is a new IP, Recore. It's from the.
Did they show gameplay for this?
No, it was kind of a cinematic trailer. It looks kind of cool.
She gives life to robots.
It's got a bunch of robots of Mega Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which won't be like Mega Man, but it's that's a pretty big franchise. So we'll see. This next bit of news is probably the biggest not game, but just news overall from E3. I feel it's backwards compatibility for the Xbox.
Which I've already said I am really pissed about it because it should have been there right from the start.
Well, they didn't have it there from the start so that you would sell your Xbox.
Yeah, not go buy them back from GameStop.
Yeah. Well,
it's like a stimulus package for GameStop.
The original Xbox One launch team, they're all gone now. So they all fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think if the team that exists right now, if they were then a backwards compatibility would have been there, I think. But they were so focused on TV and NFL and ESPN and all these things when it first came out that they didn't care.
I think it was on purpose. I think that they made a choice and they were like, we're not going to allow this because people are just going to need to upgrade and too bad and blah blah blah, and they'll get over it or something.
They'll
like that.
buy it again in arcade in 2 years.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen like that, and I think that they just figured it out. They were like, well, we're going to figure it out, and it's going to be a big announcement. And that's what made me a bit, not angry. I'm not going to get angry at gaming news, but
reluctant.
It's like everyone's clapping and cheering for a
Should
feature
have
that
done
should have
this
been
already.
there from the start.
Sure.
Like why are you so impressed by their ability to do the bare minimum?
Well, and it's like it's not every game too. It's up to the
Developers.
The publisher.
I actually have the list of games that are backwards compatible right now, and really like
There's not a whole lot of games.
Skate 3 on that list?
No, Super Meat Boy is probably the only one that I've bought that I can probably play now.
The
But
first Mass Effect.
the first.
No. You know what's actually it was
so-
announced today the highest requested game for backwards compatibility. I know everyone's gonna know this by then because it airs Sunday, but it's Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But when you're voting for these things, I feel like some people think that they're voting to get this thing up-resed to.
No, it's still gonna look like
it's gonna
shit.
look like shit.
Yeah,
Not that
it's-
Red Dead
it's,
looks like shit, but it's gonna they'll maintain the graphics.
Yeah.
Mass Effect's not gonna come out with a completely reskinned remake.
No. I mean, it's running on virtual consoles. What I've learned, and there's games that. If they use a peripheral, they can't make backwards compatible like Rock Band.
Yeah.
It's impossible for them to do that because it's basically the software, the way it works, it's fooling the Xbox One into thinking it's an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But you can't do that hardware wise. You only do it software wise. So,
Well, that's okay because no one plays those games.
no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's in a ditch.
I feel
somewhere.
like those games are gonna. After what I saw at E3,
that live action video
well, even
looks
Rock Band,
so terrible.
I just maybe the young kids they'll be into it.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine picking up a new peripheral.
We should
and a
check on
guitar
college
here.
parties in about a year or so. We should
That's
all,
gonna be-
We should all go
yeah.
and see if they have it up because that's the barometer.
Yeah. Dude, augmented reality beer pong. Right?
With the HoloLens.
You don't have to. You don't have to deal with the fucking dirty ball anymore.
Yeah.
Or the getting drunk part.
you
or
get drunk.
having friends.
Yeah.
You're just
You can
by
do it in the comfort
yourself.
of your own home by yourself with the girlfriend experience.
Like, oh,
Honey, you're doing great.
Oh man.
Do you want to talk about HoloLens now? That's we kind of like segue there on our own. That's on
Yeah,
there,
for sure.
Yeah.
So the Minecraft HoloLens demo. You talked about it before already.
It's a good tech demo. I don't think that necessarily that'll be the big selling point when it actually is released.
Yeah.
So I don't think parents are going to rush out and spend $400 so their kids can see 3D Minecraft.
no,
Yeah.
they're just showing like just the most simple, obvious thing.
That everyone recognizes.
Yeah, they're like,
at
you
E3.
can do this. They're like, oh, well, that's amazing. But it's
Yeah.
like, it's so much bigger than that. Again, if it's as good as they say it is. But like, it has the potential to do so many different things.
Yeah. Apparently there's a behind closed doors a demo of Halo 5 with the HoloLens.
What?
As a companion device. I mean, you're still watching the TV, but the Xbox knows you're wearing a HoloLens, so all the HUD is all within your HoloLens, and it basically augments your environment. Like if what I've heard is like if you're playing the game and like it'll know where your wall is. Your wall will start like getting darker if you're like if you're like you're getting red, like blinking red.
Remember when they demoed that kind of thing where your room would, it was an extension of your TV.
That might have just kind of went to the HoloLens team, like that technology.
Yeah.
Not the projector, but like that that
experience.
version of that experience.
Yeah.
So
well, that's cool. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's so far off that it's almost pointless to talk about. It's a cool tech demo. It's
the
cute to
future of
see.
gaming,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Elite controller. It looks really cool.
$150.
I
was
saw
gonna
it
buy
yesterday. It does. There's nothing really that special about it.
I want to see if you can throw it at a wall and it doesn't break. Then
I disagree. I
it's
think
worth it.
I think it is special, but
well, you
it's
got
not
the
worth the
paddles
price.
in the back. Yeah.
I think for someone who has the money, it's I was calling kind of the Beats headphones of like controllers.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see someone with that, you're like, really? How did you get that
How are you
money?
gonna be seeing them at? They'll be wearing it around town.
I don't know.
They got their
Beats.
little purse with
Yeah. Well, it comes in like a little like Beats kind of like purse
Yeah.
case.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like
thing, with
Power
all the
Glove.
little-
Yeah, Power Glove, baby.
Yeah.
What's the line? It's so bad.
So none of us will buy that. We
Nope.
don't have
No.
that. Rare collection.
No, this is
I'm
great.
excited about this.
No GoldenEye, but still
But
got Perfect Dark, got
Battletoads.
Banjo Kazooie,
Yeah.
Battletoads.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country in there.
Yeah.
Let
Is
me,
it really?
I have the list
wait.
here.
I was gonna say Nintendo.
It's
I don't
not.
think so.
Those are the two games that are most requested that didn't get in there.
Because that's a Nintendo IP.
You got Killer Instinct. You got Blast Corps.
Killer Instinct's
I love
already
Blast
exists.
Corps.
Blast Corps.
Cameo, Viva Pinata, Jetpack.
So many of these were N64 exclusives originally.
Yeah,
which is-
yeah.
Yeah,
makes it
I like I said, this is another thing where I just, if they didn't make a big deal out of it at E3, no one would care.
Anyway, yeah. So not going to be buying the Rare collection, but
Nope, no interest.
I think I'm gonna
You can
get
play
$30.
an emulator, man. Just get an emulator on the computer.
yeah.
It's true.
I'm not saying to steal stuff, but steal stuff.
I mean, everyone who worked on it is dead.
It was at least 60 years ago that Battletoads was
You know
released.
what? That's a really good point.
They're
Really
all
good point.
dead.
Yeah.
No one's gonna miss this game.
Tomb Raider.
I thought Tomb Raider looks awesome. I'll be buying that
Yes,
for sure. I love the
enjoy.
last Tomb Raider.
It's very clearly Microsoft's
Uncharted
answer
Yeah.
to Uncharted,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm cool with that. I love that they used ice climbing, my least favorite activity
Yeah,
in the
there you
world,
go.
as like the centerpiece of the whole demo.
Yeah,
But,
and there'll be actual tombs to be raided this time. Last game was only
Stealing
6.
bodies.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So then Gears HD collection and Gears 4.
Isn't this just Gears 1?
Yeah, only Gears
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
I was underwhelmed by the Gears 4 demo personally.
Well, that's pretty far off, right? That's another one that doesn't
next
come out.
year.
But it's holiday 2016,
Yeah, yeah.
which
Oh.
always has the potential of
Oh.
turning into spring 2017.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's still a glimmer in our eyes.
Yeah. So like what they showed off will probably have very little to do with the final product.
I mean, it looks like Gears.
Yeah, it's really hard
There's
to
like
tell.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hide behind cover and saw things off of aliens' faces. And,
Yeah.
And you got
then you got Bender playing the main guy again. Is that what's going on?
the video I watched. Was that supposed to be Marcus Phoenix? He
No,
looked
it was
blonde.
like he's too young.
Yeah, it's like a
the young
different
guys
guy.
take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
generation.
Some pretty boy.
The next
Well,
one's
you had the best
Degrassi.
idea. They really missed out by not spelling it GE4RS.
They still have time though, apparently.
Listen to this guy. Yeah,
Next year.
yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Force.
So
Let's move on to another game we really want to talk about here.
Yeah.
Electronic Arts showed off.
Electronic Arts actually, I think, the worst press conference. Most
Oh, because of
boring.
Hoop God.
Just all these mobile games, and I mean, it's Electronic Arts. They're the one. They're obviously the publisher everyone bashes on.
Yeah.
They
And
got to
they're the
show
most
off all their
mainstream.
sports games and stuff.
They got to show off
I
kids,
play Madden, so
lots
I'm
of
not
kid
fine
stuff
with that.
too. But yeah,
Yeah.
Madden. I love that they were just straight up honest. They're like, listen, there's not much difference between this year and last year's Madden. But if you like fantasy football,
Yeah.
hey, you're gonna buy this.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll be buying it for sure.
I'll probably
but
pass.
but the game that broke Twitch,
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Which, you take it.
It's, I mean, it's the best video game representation of the Star Wars world I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, they obviously gave a huge shit about making it, like, true to the source material.
Yeah.
And it
I
really
love
shows.
Admiral Akbar as your
Yeah.
guiding guy in the co-op mission.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, like, all we've seen so far is the Battle of Hoth, and that looks.
Well, also,
we saw the
we saw
co-
the desert one
Yeah.
with the.
I didn't see that.
Kind of the horde mode.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. They showed
That's
off.
the one with Admiral Akbar
Yeah.
where he like pops up on the side.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
right,
so the
okay.
thing is like, first of all, the Frostbite engine's beautiful. Battlefield
Yeah.
4 was beautiful. I love the Battlefield series. If you love the Battlefield series, you're gonna, and Star Wars, this is perfect for you.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But I think like the thing is like in Battlefield, you're rendering all these huge cityscapes and all this stuff that's going on. In Star Wars, like when you battle on most of these places, it's kind of like a barren landscape, at least what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Nature. And so you can pay a lot more attention to like the minutia of
Sure.
making this look good and making everything like the vehicles and
Yeah.
the landscape and everything
Yeah.
like that look really good.
And just the presentation of, you feel like, I mean, I haven't sat down, had the controller in my hand, but just watching the demo of the Hoth battle, you're just like walking out for the first time and a TIE fighter goes right up over your
Yeah.
head. You're like, it's like, oh my god, like
you can
I'm
get
gonna-
in that and fly it, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
incredible.
Wow, I mean, we're all buying it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This is the one I feel like we're all gonna
This
buy.
one was the first one of the E3 where I was like, all right, sold. Like,
Yeah.
There was a bunch of
getting
stuff at this E3 where I was like, I want that now.
Yeah.
And I think last year was pretty weak in
Yeah.
terms of like stuff that got us hyped to
Well, it was all
play
stuff
games.
that like, oh, it's all coming 2015, and now
Yeah,
this is the
yeah.
year. Like, I feel like I'll say this: Battlefront's the first time I'm truly impressed by next gen or current gen.
Yeah.
I think like this is the one
That's
that if
gonna
you
really
don't have an
show
Xbox or PS4,
Yeah.
buy a PS4 for this game. Buy an Xbox
people
One
will.
for this game.
And,
And
I-
Fallout 4. Like this is the
You'll
year.
probably come out with one of those I don't know who has the exclusive rights to DLC or whatever, but whoever does have that will probably get one of those exclusively skinned release Xboxes. Like it'll be
PS4
like
is kind of
white.
the
Vader
Activision
Xbox?
PS4 have a really or not. EA, and PS4 with the Battlefront have a really close relationship. So I think
it would be great to get like that one, like Stormtrooper PS4 or something like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're gonna do that.
C-3PO PS4 gold.
And it's and perfect timing with the Star Wars Episode 7.
Well, obviously that was
Star Wars. I mean. We're all going to be talking about Star Wars a lot
for the rest of our lives, obviously.
This holiday season.
Bunch of grown men talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Look what they did to us.
So that's 100% sold. Yes. That
Mirror's
game will be
Edge,
the best.
Catalyst, you can skip that. I mean,
I love Mirror's Edge.
It looks beautiful.
Talk about
the thing about Mirror's Edge is I've been waiting for a sequel to Mirror's Edge, or I think this one is actually a prequel. Could be wrong. It is a prequel. But I've been waiting for a sequel to Mirror's Edge for so long because it was one of my favorite games. It's like so fluid, so much fun to play. It's just fun to play that game.
It's just running and climbing and jumping.
Well, you're like an assassin too.
Yeah. They're taking away. There's no guns. There's no guns in this one.
Good. Because you don't need them.
The guns, I thought that's what I didn't like about the first one. Like they just kind of threw in this gun play. I was just like, what is this? You know?
Yeah, but so the thing that sucks about it was it is completely overshadowed by so many other games at this conference this year that it pales in comparison to something like Battlefront that comes out, and then you're like, oh yeah, Mirror's Edge is coming out too. Cool.
Yeah. It looks very pretty. I like the aesthetic.
Yeah. Mirror's Edge 1 is great.
So I never played the first one. Like, do you get nauseous at all playing this? Because I feel like I would get ill.
It will be cool to play in VR if they ever sort that out.
That would make me throw up.
Yeah. But no, the first one is not really. It was just a nice kind of like the gameplay mechanics in one were just so fluid and smooth that it felt right. I don't know. It just felt accurate to when you were playing it. There wasn't like any kind of like. You like standing on a thing and like hitting a button and it not working.
Every Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
New Mass Effect. Not
New
all
Mass
on
Effect,
that,
Andromeda. We didn't see any gameplay, so I don't know if I'm excited about that.
It's not.
I didn't really like 3 that much.
I mean, this one's got new stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's got new stuff.
They didn't show anything, so
Let's move on
really
to
to say.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
New South Park game.
That's cool.
That was one of the biggest surprises.
Really? We didn't see any gameplay or anything. I mean, the gameplay just looks like the game.
Did either of you play South Park?
No, I should.
I'm not a big South Park.
How much does
guy,
it cost now on Steam?
Oh, it's actually on the Steam sale. It's $13.
Well, I'll have to pick that up and buy that.
Yeah, I figured one of you guys would have played
No,
that.
I think it was when it came out on Xbox 360 after the one came out or something, and I already got rid of it. There was something like that. Where
I heard
was
it's hilarious.
Yeah. And Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the reason why this was a surprise is he said they would never make another game because it was such an undertaking. But I guess
now that they have it all worked out, I'm sure
the millions of dollars that they were offered.
Yeah. So this one's a superhero one.
Yes, it's like a superhero. That last one was like a
Lord of the Rings type.
A World of Warcraft kind of thing.
So I mean, I love them. I have to play the other one, but I'm sure anything that they put out is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we have The Division.
They showed this off 2 years ago.
2009, actually.
Really?
Sorry, 2011 was the first time it was like they teased it.
Yeah.
I thought it was first showed off for the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, that's when they first showed off like extended gameplay of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Oh, this looks cool," and then it just
Yeah, I mean, it's
still waiting.
Every E3, it's just
Yeah, it's still coming.
So
We're
March
still
8th is the apparent release date. We're finally gonna get it. But we might see it at E3 next year.
Who knows?
It might get pushed to June.
It was like the same way that Minecraft is kind of a test for the augmented reality. I feel like The Division was developed simply to test the limits of the next gen consoles.
Yeah.
So I don't I'm sure it'll come out, but I don't think it's going to live up to anyone's expectations.
Yeah, well, if it's Ubisoft, yes, because Watch Dogs didn't.
Yeah.
And that was even before the Xbox One was announced. That was like they were just saying this is next gen.
Yeah.
And the demo did not live up.
Yeah, you remember how fucking stoked everyone was about Watch Dogs?
Yeah.
And you remember
That's what happens with all
remember
games.
when the game came out?
Yeah, I think Division will be better than Watch Dogs for sure.
Yeah.
It's such a better
I think
premise.
people also realized that they wanted to do stuff in games instead of like sit on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I can trigger.
I do that all day anyway.
Light turn red.
Yeah.
Great.
But let's move on to a Tom Clancy game that I am so goddamn excited about. Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is like just you're in Mexico or some shit.
Yeah.
And you have the entire country of Mexico to just go kill
Just go for it.
cartel people as much as you want.
It looks awesome.
You could do it.
It's the
you could
first
do it
open,
stealthy.
It's the first open world Ghost Recon, correct?
I believe so.
I-
So
I'm not-
holiday 2020.
I'm not. Yeah, I
Well, the
haven't played a lot of
Division's,
Ghost Recon or
yeah.
Tom Clancy games. So, but the trailer for this has me intrigued.
I like stealth games that give you like a choice of how you're gonna go about something. I like toying with that, where you can choose to go in guns blazing or do it like.
But with
crafty.
all these games like the Ghost Recons and the Divisions and whatnot, why do you need to play them when Just Cause 3 is going to exist? You see where he's like riding on top of a fucking ICBM?
Yeah.
The wingsuit looks amazing.
Yeah,
in that
you
game.
Gatling gun up to a thing and then shoot off and activate your wingsuit.
So they didn't have this to play.
It's basically like, it looks like the Saints Row of serious action
Yeah.
games.
Well, can you call it serious at this point?
No, that's what I'm saying. The same way like Saints Row takes Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto's obviously got a little, like, it's a serious game now for the most part. Is where like Just Cause is like
the
Ghost Recon.
equivalent, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun.
And then we got another big boy.
Yeah.
Conference here. This is Monday night. Ricky was in attendance at this conference.
I was there.
Sony.
Yes.
And huge hype for this conference.
I thought the presentation was fantastic.
And they delivered.
And
Yeah.
I said before on Tugs that I have boycotted Sony for years because of their proprietary shit that they shove down your throat. And I don't own a PlayStation, but I might have to get one soon because this presentation like really, really impressed me.
All right, let's
a lot
get to
of
the
new
announcements.
IPs here that are all pretty and
Horizon Zero Dawn looks
Yeah, let's start with that one.
so good.
So which one is Horizon?
That's the bow and arrow robot dinosaur.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Sneak
so
stuff
it's
going on
a dystopian future,
Like every game.
and robot animals have taken over or some shit.
Yeah, and this is the studio that used to make Killzone, and I feel like they were always. I was listening to another podcast, and the guy was saying like they're always kind of burdened with Killzone. He was explaining, and this is their like. We get to make whatever we want, and finally they're like set free, and this is what they're making.
Set the devs free out of the
And
Killzone
this is
jail.
it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, very excited for it.
Last Guardian, I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? But
Is this
it
a kid
looks
screaming at the air for a while?
well. No, it looks like I watched like the first minute of the trailer. I was like, nah, I'm not. And then it gets really cool, and you're like using this fucking Falcor buddy of yours to like swing and avoid danger, and it's. I don't know.
It's a sequel to Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, it
Well,
is.
it's like a spiritual. Yeah, it's from Ueda, who's made. He
that
made
makes
Ico,
sense.
and then Shadow of the Colossus, which are two of the most beloved games by like hardcore Sony fans, probably of all time.
Yeah.
Up there with Final Fantasy VII, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But this game was first announced in 2009. It was scrapped. Sony actually lost the IP.
Oh, wow.
From Ueda, and there was talks about Kickstarter and all that stuff. So this announcement is them saying we have it back. They had Ueda at the conference, so there was also rumors that they were going to make it without him. So it's also like the reason why it was so huge is because not only is there a release year, which is next year. There's a demo, which it was the same demo that they kind of showed 2 years ago. The graphics aren't updated.
Yeah.
But he was there, so that's why everyone was excited. It's like, this is what we wanted. We wanted him to be still part of it. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Just give it to us already, kind of thing. So that's why it's such a big deal.
Saw it knowing nothing about it, and I was like, yeah, this looks cool. I like the idea of this.
I want to know what you thought about No Man's Sky.
Which one was that?
That was one where they have basically
the space exploration game.
Yeah, and they zoom out, and every star has planets and all that, and they're just constantly zooming out.
I
and
skipped around that trailer because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. So what is this game?
It's just it's space exploration. The game.
And there's like I would assume like a random planet generator or something.
Yeah.
What's up with the fucking colors in this one? It's all like yellow and
I think
red.
they're going for like a 60s sci-fi kind of look, like a Flash Gordon.
They teased it last
kind of
year,
thing.
and it looks
Yeah.
like they've done just a ton of work on this game.
Yeah,
It-
and this
yes.
is like 3 guys making this.
Yeah.
game.
It
like
looks
a
cool.
Small team of guys.
They were saying that throughout the life cycle of this game, there's no way that all the planets will be explored, and there will be some that'll have never been seen.
Because it's just at that point, it's like randomly generated.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Yeah, but I guess you when you find a place, your name gets on it, kind of like you're planting your flag.
So this one I thought looked cool, but like something about the color thing, it looks like when you pull out one of the like RGB things from your TV.
Oh yeah, the G or the B go.
Yeah, sacrifice the greens to make the game so big.
So I mean, hopefully that's a little toned down.
I was more impressed with their demo last year when they kind of like unveiled it kind of at Sony's press conference. This year, I honestly thought they would show more gameplay. They showed how vast. So like he really impressed the crowd by like showing like a little dot, which is like, okay, this is like where we are right now. This is like a star, and then there's like 50 stars in this galaxy, and there's like 10,000 galaxies. So the scale of the game is just
massive.
It's the biggest, galaxy ever in a game, and it's all like anyone playing the game was in the same galaxy. Mm-hmm. So everyone's kind of. It's not like there's just servers everywhere. Everyone's discovering the same planets, and will hopefully.
It's like in Ready Player One, how you can zoom around from planet to planet and discover things. And they're trying to look for something, and there's an infinite amount of possibilities.
Yeah, I didn't see like the minute to minute fun in the game yet. They only showed off like the vast the scale.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do in this game.
I don't know. But, exactly. So is it just like going down a planet, downloading your name to a server, and then like leaving? I don't know if that's the game. Then I guess that's cool.
Gotta catch them all. All right. Well, let's take a quick break for a little sponsor.
Yeah.
And this is DraftKings.com.
Woo!
Basketball's done, guys. Sorry about that, but baseball's in full swing. And that's a great.
They wrote it.
They wrote it. So yeah, you can get in on the action all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the MLB. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments like a normal fantasy league, which can get really burdensome. So yeah, why wait until the end of an entire season of baseball to get paid when you can do it every single day?
Yes.
Last year, some dude from Colorado won $1 million.
$1 million!
$1 million in one day simply playing fantasy baseball at DraftKings. And there's hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you who have already cashed in at DraftKings.com. Now it's your turn, so get on over there.
What are you waiting for? The new contestants start daily, so hurry to DraftKings.com right now and use the promo code MADE.
M-A-D-E.
M-A-D-E. To play for free in today's $10,000 fantasy baseball contest. Again, that promo code is MADE, MADE, for free entry now at DraftKings.com. That website is DraftKings.com.
DraftKings.com. It's DraftKings.com.
Maddie, what's the website?
DraftKings.com.
All right, let's finish up with Sony.
They got sports.
Yeah,
let's
I didn't hear. What was Dream? I might
Dream
have stepped
is
away
the
to piss.
Media Molecule game. The guys who made Little Big Planet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's I honestly don't know if it's a game.
It looks like more like a sandbox sort of like
a canvas where you can make models and
so you use the PlayStation controller to like manipulate objects and shit
and create like an environment.
And it looked like you might be able to make like movies. I was very unclear on like what the end game with this
you can,
is.
and then you can share like Little Big Planet. You can share your dreams of other people, and they can manipulate those dreams.
It's very Japanese.
It'll be like
Media Molecules. Yeah, they're not like they're a North American studio.
This is like the most Japanese thing I've ever seen, though.
It'll be like Spore, where they're like the possibilities are limitless, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, this is just I can make things out of clay.
Great, so it's like Play-Doh, but like with a controller.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Little Big Planet because I didn't want to spend time making levels.
Well, it's cool to download stuff that people have made.
Sure, but I'd rather just play something that a really good game designer made. I'm not
Don't
really...
leave it up to us idiots.
Speaking of great game design, Final Fantasy VII is not just getting an HD upgrade. Apparently, it's getting completely remade from the ground up. With what they showed off looked incredible. Even if it's a cutscene, it's this game to be able to play it again. And when you go from something like Gears 1 and then make that an HD remake, it's like, that only came out not so long
Came
ago.
out like
Yeah.
15 years
like
ago.
Relative to
Like 10
something
years
like,
ago,
like
yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
That was like
where it's-
1997.
Yeah, I was still in elementary school. Probably.
So there you go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the graphical updates on
PlayStation
this
1.
is actually going to be impressive.
Yeah. Actually, well, I haven't really heard anyone talk, like mention this, but like this is going to be the kind of first. And the video games are pretty young, and we're so used to now in 2015 films being remade.
Yeah.
Like a new Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And which is new filmmakers, not just an a Blu-ray version of that movie.
Yeah.
Now we're used to shitting on those things.
Yeah.
And now the first time a game is announced to be a remake, it's just like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. Shouldn't there be like someone being like, well, what? Why doesn't he be remade?
Well,
like, why can't?
See,
Why
that's
can't
the
you
thing
still
is,
go back to
there's a
the
lot of things
original?
with games and movies that are just completely separated.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
The fact that everyone loves sequels for games,
Yeah.
but no one loves movie sequels. For the most part, there are some things that stand out. Like,
Yeah.
there's some sequels that are better than the first, but
Yeah.
still, like when you hear about the 4th Transformer movie, you're like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
you hear about Halo 5, and you're like, oh, great, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. I think it's just
Another one.
Yeah.
It's
It's just a different medium.
You think for the games, it's a continuation of fun,
Yeah.
rather than like how are they going to recreate a story that merits a sequel I just think this is going to be the first time where we're really going to see. I mean, there are, I guess, the games that have been remade, like Strider came out last year. That was like an NES game. But
Well,
that
the
was
thing
still
is
like
that-
a side-scrolling. It was still kind of like an up-res.
I don't think that whereas a movie when it's remade, they try to make it different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
Like Tomb Raider, I guess,
Yeah.
is a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a better. But yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about that, like in movies, since we talk more about movies.
Yeah.
We always shit on remakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, this will be a nice test case for whether or not they can do it correctly.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to have to, for this to be good and not to be one of those scary things, is it's going to have to be Final Fantasy VII, but completely redone with brand new graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like an up-resing like
We'll
Gears.
probably do gameplay too, because
Yeah.
RPGs from the '90s are so arcane at this point.
Do you
Yeah.
want to fight? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious how much they like
Are gonna change.
alter the gameplay mechanics and like if they add content to it. You could fit the original Final Fantasy VII on like a 4 gig thumbstick and still have room
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
a
Three
several
and a half
feature
gigs.
films.
But yeah, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shenmue 3, I had no idea that Shenmue 1 or 2 existed.
I remember Shenmue 1 vaguely from like the 90s
Yeah.
when it was
Late
like
90s.
but like
Dreamcast.
not even when but I don't even remember it being out. I remember hearing about it as like an upcoming game.
Okay.
And how like ridiculous it was. It was like, oh yeah, it's like real time.
It was the first game that had QuickTime events.
Ah.
He
Okay.
invented the guy who made this game invented QuickTime events.
Like
yeah.
I don't even know what it's about. Is it like it looks like it's like a romance game.
It kind of it's kind of a Japanese soap opera in a way. I played the first one. I didn't play the second one because at that point the Dreamcast was so defunct.
Yeah.
It was already in my closet. But the first game, I played the shit out of that game, and it was for how it's an absolutely absurd game. It's so Japanese in that like it's about a guy whose father is murdered in the beginning of the game, and it's just really about him avenging his father's death. But literally, he has a journal, and in the first page is must avenge father's death, like things to do.
Great.
And so you infiltrate this like the place where he worked, and literally for I want to say like close to maybe like a few hours to maybe 5 hours of the game, you are just working at a job. You are a forklift driver.
Great.
And that's what you
Forklift
need.
Simulator 2016.
It's a forklift simulator, and the dialogue is like, if you just Google Shenmue dialogue,
Yeah.
like there's he goes up to people like, where are the sailors? I want to find stuff like that. But it is, I guess it's a beloved franchise because the second one was, I guess, a cliffhanger. So
But this isn't
people
even a
wanna-
new game.
Yeah,
this
they're trying to kickstart
this
it.
is an announcement.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
promoted the Kickstarter.
and the official Kickstarter video looks like shit.
It looks like a 360
it looks
game.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Like even the
But like
lower
Maddie
thirds
said-
and shit they use, like papyrus font. It looks like shit.
like
Yeah.
Maddie said, it's all about if the game's good, not the graphics, Elliot.
But
Yeah.
I'm
The
just,
yeah.
I don't get why they chose E3 to announce, hey, like we are kickstarting something.
I think it's because the Sony's narrative was let's fucking make the fans jizz.
Yeah.
And what are the franchises we need to have at our conference to do that? Final Fantasy VII, Last Guardian, and Shenmue. They literally brought the 3 franchises that everyone's been clamoring for, and that's why people are saying it's such a great press conference because they're speaking directly towards these people that are on Reddit, are like, "Oh, where's the next Shenmue game?" Or, you know, like short of Half-Life 3, like we've gone now just for the Sony conference, all the games that people have been talking about.
Yeah, I also like that. You know, last year Xbox was maybe it was 2 years ago. They all started to meld together, but you know. It's an entertainment console. This is where you're going to watch your cable TV. This is where you're going to watch
the Xbox One announcement.
And then, so Sony was like, it almost seemed like a PR move for them to be like, we're going to talk just about games.
Yeah.
It's a gaming console.
Yeah. That was a big thing.
And it wasn't, because they've never backed down from that. Everything they showed off, except for the Sony View, and they didn't spend that much time on it, is like, it's all fan service for gamers. And that's what I think gives Sony kind of an advantage, because Xbox still is looked at as kind of like the bro version of the gaming console.
Yeah. Or more like the American, it's the American console in that, like, in the US, we look at video games as just another type of like TV show or movie. Yeah. It's another type of thing that we have on our shelf that we're gonna do. So they looked at the Xbox originally, the Xbox One, as like, well, you're gonna play your games, obviously. Yeah. But that's just like 1/3 of the experience. You're gonna watch your TV on here. You're gonna want to watch your movies, and since Sony's like, I think, a Japanese company, they're so much more game obsessed.
And I think it was funny too is to go back to the Xbox thing. Is Kinect just dead?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, by the way, guys, hey, if you go out on the floor, don't mention Kinect, because we didn't demo anything of it this year.
Wow.
It doesn't come with any I don't think you can. They announced like the new version of the Xbox, the 1 terabyte. It doesn't come with it. You can't buy it. I think you can buy it separately still, but. Why would you? Like, there's no games for
flop.
it. Yeah.
What a complete flop.
I actually still have it connected to my Xbox because you can
shout at it.
You can still well, actually it uses it to like I can use my Xbox controller to control my TV and all that. It's like my one input device.
We still have 2 things to get through for Sony before we wrap this up. Project Morpheus. They didn't spend a lot of time on it.
2 minutes.
Not a lot of stuff that we haven't seen before.
They showed that game. What is it? Riggs. It looks. I don't know. They didn't show people actually physically playing it. That's the biggest thing. It's like I
saw people playing it there, but
did they look like idiots?
No.
Were they in spinny chairs?
No.
Yeah.
At the Oculus booth, they did have the people tied to the thing so they could run in the little buttered dome thing. But no, it didn't look dumb. It won't look dumb in the privacy of your own home when you're jerking off to your senpai mommy.
They are really like going for like that esports look. Like even the logo for the game, or not the logo for the game, but the logo for the game within the game, was like basically an esports logo.
Yeah, it looked like what was it that came out recently? It wasn't recently, but it was like, fuck, I can't even remember. There was a game that had almost the exact same logo that came out like 2-3 years ago. That was like a combat game, like Monday Night Combat or something like that.
I remember that.
So yeah, like I said, Project Morpheus is going to be unique to the fact that it actually runs on the console. So who knows how that's going to
It'll be the cheapest VR experience.
Yeah, to dive straight in. And then the big boy, Uncharted 4.
Wow.
Just gorgeous.
Yep.
Like,
I want it now.
Yeah. There's not a lot you can say about it other than we just want to play it.
An action movie in that you control.
Yep.
The demo they showed off, I would put it up with like amazing movie action scenes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also not only that, like the graphics I think obviously look better, but it's not like obviously a huge bump from the PS3. The Naughty Dog games looked incredible on PS3. I think all the improvements are in, like, you can tell like the dialogue between Sully and Nathan. It's all like in real time and like all based on like what you do. They're like clips to each other, like, hey old man, come on. And also it's basically writing like a Lethal Weapon type of movie within the way you're playing, which is insane. Yeah. And just the way, like, there's a one moment in the demo where he jumps off the ledge, punches the guy, the gun flies up and he grabs it, like, oh, I'll take this. Like, just like, oh my god, that's incredible. Like Indiana Jones Simulator.
Yeah, basically that's what it looks like.
Every time people say like, oh, Uncharted movie, I'm like, the game is a movie. You don't need a fucking movie.
Yeah, if they made a movie, it would just be underwhelming to the game.
Yeah, they had to put so much money into it, which they will, but, And
it seemed like whatever world that one level they showed off in is massive because
Yeah.
you get in the car and then you're just like going through this entire city. It's like, okay, like how much of this is on rails and how much is...
The games are always been on rails, so that's the thing. But that's fine. It's not an open world game, so it is pretty linear. There are like when you get into like a encounter as they call them in the games. Like there's different paths you can take. Like you can go this way, you can go that way. But yeah, you can't like scale a whole building and then like, go the other side. Yeah. But that's what it's so great at. It's a linear story. Like it's the best linear
You're playing
story.
a movie.
Yeah, you're playing a fucking movie.
Well, we're excited for that. It got pushed back, but it comes out next spring, right?
Next spring, which I think it's good. It got pushed back because
it looks like they're really taking their time.
They're taking their time with it, and then you can play Tomb Raider this fall, which is like the Uncharted this fall.
Yeah,
for the girls.
For the girls on the Xbox. Yeah. I mean, Uncharted. I think they really put a lot of care into that because every time one comes out, it's sort of just like the benchmark of like what a PS4 or PS3 game can do.
Yeah, for sure. Then there's a little company called Nintendo that showed up.
Okay.
Star Fox looks cool. I'll never play it.
No, it doesn't.
Mario Maker they already showed off before.
Mario Maker looks. I mean, that's the only thing that I think is really awesome. But are you gonna buy a console just for Mario Maker?
No, absolutely not.
Star Fox
2D scrolling game?
No.
Star Fox is still like you play the whole thing on the fucking pad.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
We're too old, fellas.
I mean,
it's not for us.
It's not for us anymore.
If I had kids and I didn't want them seeing all the blood and violence and Doom,
Give them the Wii U.
Lock them in the house. Give them a little Wii U.
But Mario Kart 8 is awesome. I like Mario Kart.
No, yeah, that's great.
And so I just want.
This is not. You don't buy a whole console for that.
I know. I just want.
Super Smash Brothers is huge.
Okay, a little thing on Nintendo. If the Wii U was $99 and didn't come with that stupid gamepad, would you guys buy it?
No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't buy it.
You wouldn't buy it. But
if I could get that with like.
Just the controller, the pro controller,
just a pro game controller, and I'd throw down a little bit more for a couple more controllers and Mario Kart. I would have that just to hang out and play, and I'd get smashed.
Whenever I have kids, I'm sure I'll pick one up.
Okay, great.
Yeah, just not for me.
Sorry. Yeah, I just think the price needs to go down. That's when I'll buy it.
And then obviously, I mean, guys, the E3 was so massive.
There's so many games we missed.
Cover everything, but we just wanted to do a little wrap up because our entire week has been spent. Watching E3 press conferences, checking out all the news, seeing stuff. I went down to the convention twice, although I didn't spend too much time there. I was just running around like crazy trying to get shit done. But it's always fun. I love E3 every year, mainly because a lot of people come visit the lovely city of LA that I get to see.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's just local.
Yeah. Great. Just head on over.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good year. I thought one of the best in recent memories.
Great game. Just I don't know how I'm gonna need. I'm gonna raise Ricky.
And then we'll go. Hopefully, we can get you to come with us to PAX Prime, so we can play them.
That'll be amazing.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. If you made it this far, and we'll see you guys soon.
What games do you want to play? Let us know in the comments, and watch our other podcasts.
Bye-bye.
Bye.